All right. Think we're live. Trying to make sure everything's set up. Just want to go ahead and say I am feeling a little bit under the weather. Uh, I'm keeping my promise. INDYCARPER's still going to be a Tuesday show. In the words of Sketch, INDYCARPER's on Tuesday, Tuesday, Tuesday. So once again, we got the INDYCAR pre-rate pre-Long Beach show. Long Beach got the Long Beach hat on. Welcome to the INDYCARPER pre-Long Beach show here on this glorious Tuesday afternoon. I am your host, Hunter, A.K.A. Casey Racing, your residential IndyCar armchair analyst. This episode is going to be mainly focused on Long Beach, but as I mentioned last Wednesday, that we're going to talk about a little bit about the Indy 500 testing. We're going to talk about that first, and we're going to go into a little bit of a dive on Long Beach. It's going to be a shorter show because I am feeling a little bit under the weather, but I'm still going to promise I'm keeping the show going on. First off, I want to talk about Indy 500 testing. Let me just go ahead and point out the obvious first off. I hate the rain. Kind of ruined the testing, got rained out for day two and most of day one. But looking at the day one times, Joseph Newgarden was the quickest. Speaking of that, he was the quickest last year at the initial testing. So you might want to look at him going back to back and gotta talk about Kyle Larson. Did seem pretty fast, seemed to have the handle on it, but I am a NASCAR fan too. Come on. Kyle Larson, he's basically, you can put him in anything with an engine, give him some time, he's going to figure out how to get that thing up to the top of the charts and get it up to the leaderboards. Newgarden was fastest. All the cars looked great. Everyone looked like they weren't out of touch, ready to go for the Indy 500. I think the Indy 500 is going to be great. We're going to have some bumping too because right now we have 35 confirmed entries. I love bump day. We're going to have some bumping. That's going to be awesome. Let's talk about Long Beach this weekend. Long Beach, my favorite race on the schedule outside of the Indy 500, the second biggest race on the schedule, second longest race on the IndyCar schedule. It's been going on since 1975, with the exception of 2020 because of COVID. Long Beach, roughly a 2 mile street circuit. It's like 1.9668 miles, so roughly a 2 mile circuit, 11 turns. Best place to use person push to pass is the long straight going into turn one or going into turn eight to turn nine. That's the best chances you're probably gonna get, but push to pass and passing people. You have the narrow corner going from in turn 11. That's gonna be if you got guts, you can try to pass there, but you might end up breaking. Long Beach, my favorite track on the schedule. It's not only an IndyCar race because we got the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Series. They're gonna have their third event of the year joining IndyCar that weekend too. So I love me some IMSA. I love me some IndyCar. Both of them together at Long Beach. It's going to be a great weekend. If you're down in Long Beach, take some pictures, post them on Instagram or Twitter. Show me some pictures. I love the event. I can't make it this year. I'm going to try to make it in 2025. It's my favorite race on the schedule. I think it's going to be a great event. Speaking of Long Beach, let's go ahead and talk about picks. Teaser said I've had these picks made for 2 weeks. My Long Beach IndyCar picks is Colton Herta, Felix Rosenquist, and my long shots Marcus Armstrong. I mean, Colton Herta because this track's been Andretti dominant. Andretti's won here 2010, 2011, 2018, 2019, 2021 with Colton Herta, and 2020, and last year with Kyle Kirkwood. This track's an Andretti dominated track. I feel like you got to put some money on it on an Andretti driver, so that's why I picked Colton Herta. I think he could very well win. I know I should have picked Kyle Kirkwood or even Marcus Ericsson because they finished first and third here last year. But come on, I'm picking Colt Herta. I think he's hungry. He wants a win. He hasn't won since the IndyGP in 2022. It's his race. Speaking of it being an Andretti dominated track, Meyer Shank has an alliance with Andretti Global. Felix Rosenquist has came out the gate swinging. He's came out hot. Why would you not pick Felix Rosenquist? Come on. I feel like it's an Andretti dominated track. You're in an alliance with Andretti. You're super hot coming out the gate this season. Why would I not pick Felix Rosenquist? I know I got Marcus Armstrong as a long shot. People are like, hey, Hunter, hey, Casey, why is he a long shot? He drives for Ganassi. Look, if you're not Scott Dixon or Alex Palou, or even last year to the extent Marcus Erickson, I think you're a long shot. I think Marcus Armstrong's a long shot because he's not a betting favorite. He's always a betting long shot. He finished eighth here last year. I think he's a long shot to win the race. He's got a Ganassi equipment. He was my long shot at Thermal, and he ended up finishing fifth. I think he's a long shot to win or even make a podium. That's why he's my long shot pick. He finished eighth here last year. He could very well get a top 10 or even win the race or even get a podium. So my picks are Colton Herta and Felix Rosenquist because it's an Andretti dominated track with Colton Herta and Felix Rosenquist. He's came out the gate hot and swinging. Why would you not pick him? And he's in an Andretti aligned car. Andretti has this track figured out. So Colton Herta, Felix Rosenquist, long shot Marcus Armstrong. Finished eighth here last year. Why not? Once again, a race reminder with my main graphic I made for the race. This Sunday, April 21st, 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 2:30 p.m. Central, 1:30 p.m. Mountain Time, 12:30 p.m. Pacific Time. We got the Yakima Grand Prix of Long Beach. It's going to be on USA Network. It's not an NBC race. It's going to be on USA Network on cable. Which if you have cable, you should be able to watch it. But if you don't, it's all IndyCar races are streaming on Peacock. Make sure you got the Peacock. Or if you got USA Network, make sure you tune in. It's going to be a great race. It's my favorite race of the year, as I've repeated multiple times. Second longest race on the IndyCar schedule. My favorite track, my favorite race. Andretti dominated race. If you're going to bet on someone, bet on Andretti. But we're gonna go ahead and finish it off here. Like I said, I'm under the weather. I didn't want to spend much time today talking. Let's go ahead and sign off. Remember, follow both my accounts on Twitter/X, my main one at HJCarp29, and then follow the Casey Racem account at Casey Racem, KASEYRACEM. And the wide tours of Indianapolis Gray and fellow show host Pat McAfee. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change your life. Just a reminder, next Monday afternoon with Indy Next coming back at Barber. We're going to have our first ever Indy Next show Monday afternoon. Then Tuesday afternoon, we got INDYCARPER post Long Beach pre Barber where we're going to talk about Long Beach. You've got Casey Racem driver of the day. And after we're done talking about Long Beach and reviewing Long Beach, we're going to talk about Barber because we got Long Beach and Barber back to back weekends. We got 2 weeks in a row of IndyCar races. It's going to be two great weekends. So make sure you're tuned into that Tuesday afternoon. We're going to go ahead and sign off for today. I know it was a short episode. I apologize for that. I'm sorry. I'm under the weather. I wanted to make sure I still had an episode going. But the wise words of Pat McAfee, be a friend, tell a friend something nice, might change your life. I'm Casey Racem, A.K.A. Hunter. I'm signing off. I hope y'all catch it next